I've been working long enough to know when a job's going to be good for me or not. I just knew I've been taking space away from my family. It's just an indescribable feeling, honestly, being away from everything and having the experience that we had. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I posted, I think a couple of weeks. Today is Thursday, September 9th, and this last weekend was our 180 trip, and I think I'm gonna insert some of the videos that I took while I'm talking maybe, but...
How far are you going?
You may want to show you something.
I didn't vlog that just because I wanted to kind of stay off my phone. I really wanted to focus on me and my relationship with God. In my last video, I talked a little bit about how I got a job, and I don't remember if I mentioned or not, but it was at Dollar Tree. Sorry about my voice also. I lost it this weekend. Still a little raspy, but I have it back. Within the first week, I could kind of tell that this job wasn't going to be good at all. I've been working long enough to know when a job's going to be good for me or not, mentally, spiritually, physically. I just knew they didn't have anyone to work, so they were constantly calling me in to work. And of course I had things to do. I had Easton's football game, I had church, I had good reasons as to why I couldn't go in, but they weren't very good at doing their job. They didn't train me very well at all. I've worked a register before, so I kind of knew, like, I didn't really need help with that, but they just weren't very interactive with me. I had to figure a lot of things out by myself or ask a million questions, and nobody really helped me cashiering. Everyone was like in the back doing their own thing. I think the problem is that they were just understaffed, so I really just didn't want to deal with that again. I really didn't. And they had me to work for the weekend that we had the trip, which was last weekend. She made the schedules really weird. She made them on a Thursday, but they went until the next Sunday, and I had no idea because she told me she made the schedules on Thursday, so I figured, you know, it went from Thursday to Thursday, but she didn't tell me that it would go to the next Sunday, so I couldn't ask off for that trip. And so she had me working for Saturday morning and then Monday morning. So we left on Saturday and we were supposed to come back Monday. First I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna work Saturday and then me and Omar can drive my car to the trip and meet them there. But something was just telling me, like, you need to go and be there, be present, and be focused in on that. And I knew I wanted to be focused in on it. I didn't have the money, and Omar had told me that he was going to take care of it, but I don't like letting people pay and take care of me with things like that. So I was just like really stressed about it for a while, and I was like, well, if we can't pay, we shouldn't even go because it's not fair. All of these things that were trying to keep me from going, including my job. The night before, I had gone grocery shopping with our leader for the food for the trip, and I had such an amazing time just shopping, literally just shopping with her and her friend, who is now my friend. So we did that, and I realized how incredibly happy I always am to be around my church people, to be around my friends in the church, and how happy they make me even when I'm going through the hardest of times. So last minute, I just texted our leader and I was like, hey, I'm gonna ride with y'all. I'm gonna go with y'all to the trip. And she was so excited, and I was so excited, and it all worked out in the end. Basically, I left my job. I haven't really told a lot of people that because I feel like people are like, oh, you didn't give it enough time, but why do I have to give it that time? Why do I have to give it time to take away from me when I know it's going to do that regardless? I just tell the people who really would understand, or if it comes up, I'll be like, oh, I don't work there anymore. You know, it's just it's not a big deal to me. I've always been the one who wants to do everything right, 2-week notice, and try things all the way through and don't dismiss it before I completely, you know, I've always been that person, because everyone's like, oh, you have to do it that way, you have to do it that way. But if something is so bad to the point where you cannot go even one shift longer, which one of my previous jobs definitely was that, and I still gave my 2 weeks notice. Personally, I think it's okay for your own good to just leave, honestly, if it's really that bad. And for me, it really wasn't that bad, but it was a last minute thing. I couldn't just, you know, I was only there for a week. I don't mind. If you want to think whatever you want to think about that, then that's fine, and it worked out for the best. The night that we went grocery shopping, I also had Easton's, my little brother, his football game, and so I drove all the way out there. I wasn't going to go because I still had it back, but I drove all the way out there because I really wanted to see him, and some things happened between me and my family. Honestly, I think everything's okay now. I had a lot of emotions that were building up inside of me due to a situation I had been put through by somebody, and it was really, really hurtful to me. And when I talk about these kind of things, I don't like to go into detail or say names or anything, because it is my place, because I was involved in that situation, but the only thing that I have to express is my feelings about it. I don't have to put out details and cause more problems about it, because I don't want that in my life anymore. You know, I used to be the person that if you did me wrong, I would confront you about it, and I would not let anyone, you know, push me around in that way. But I've realized that that doesn't always fix things. Even if you confront them the right way, they might not take it the right way, and it might not go good. So now when people cause me hurt in my life, I just deal with it, and I do talk to people about it. I talk to Omar about it, my leaders sometimes, and I pray to God about it. But I guess this certain situation, I have been holding it in for a while, and the only people I really talked to about it was Omar and my leaders, and I wanted to talk to my family about it, but it was just something that I couldn't disclose with my family for certain reasons. But that night, I guess I had so much emotion built up that after the game, when we were leaving, I just kind of let it all out, and I may not have approached it the right way when I did, but I've also had talks with people about it afterwards, and you know, it's not good to beat yourself down about it after the fact. It happened. You can apologize, you can accept what you did, and you know, apologize and move past it. And so that's what I did. I apologized to my parents for what I did. It was just something that I needed to talk to my parents about in a better way. But I think the only reason I hadn't told my parents about it was because I've been taking space away from my family, and this is the hard subject for me, and I'm just sharing like what I've been having going on. And with that happening, what I did, it brought up a lot of feelings and a lot of hurt, and so I'm just gonna explain it. I love my family a lot, like so much, and especially my younger brother. Let's just say that I grew up really, really fast. I did grow up really fast, and for me it was really frustrating to just see them struggling, you know, when I know the answer. It's really hard to explain this without going into detail, but the big picture is my family is struggling all together. My family, my parents, and my brother. And I've been trying to help them, but by trying to help them, I have been in their lives, I feel like, a little too much. Especially my brother's life. I've just been, you know, I care for him like a mother, because I did have to take care of him when, you know, my parents were going through their divorce. And it's really hard for me to talk about this, especially on my YouTube, because there are a lot of people that will dismiss your feelings because they don't agree, you know, so it's just really hard to put this out there and just wait for the opinions. And my videos don't get that much comments or views yet, so I'm not too worried about anything like that, but it's the people who watch them who see me in person. But I've decided it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because this is my story and this is what I've been going through lately, and if I want to share it, then I can share it, because you never know who might have gone through or may be going through the same thing. And anyways, so I've been really involved in his life, and he obviously doesn't like that. Nobody likes that, and it's just hard for me to let go of worrying about him, because I am so attached to him, because I think I love my younger brother more than, I love him more than a lot of people in my life. I think I care about him so much to the point where sometimes it hurts me and it hurts him and it hurts our relationship. But I've had to step away from that for the past couple of months, and in doing that, I held in a lot of that emotion and a lot of that pain. And so when it came out, it just all came out, and I really did not mean for it to. And that night when we left the game, I talked to my cousin Zach and Omar about it, and they just, you know, reminded me of what I already know. You can't help people. You can't just go to people and, like, you know the answer, but you can't make them do what's right, or you can't make them understand something that they may not understand that you do, such as like God's love. Like, you can't just force someone to become saved or things like that. You know, people make their own choices. They have free will, and it's the same thing with life decisions. You can't make people make the right decisions, or you can't make people come to church, or make people listen to you, or things like that. And mainly what we talked about was just the boys, they listened to my feelings, and they listened to me, and they didn't dismiss my feelings, but they also reminded me of what I know already, just because sometimes we know things, but we forget in times of crisis, in times of struggle. So they helped me a lot that night to realize, you know, I just need to apologize. I need to realize what I've done, but I don't need to dismiss my own feelings, and I don't need to beat down on myself for feeling the way that I do and doing what I did. And so that made me feel a lot better. And since we were leaving for the trip, I had told my mom I'm not going to be on my phone that much, just because I need to focus on this. And I believe that what happened that night was for a reason, because I needed a moment of realization. And I can't even begin to explain how amazing that weekend was, of finding myself and finding God. And it's not like I ever lost him, especially since camp. I've been, you know, doing so much better, like probably the best I've ever been with my relationship with God, and reading the word and praying so much, and I've been doing so good about that. And it's not a job for me anymore. It's not. I love doing it. I wake up in the morning and I look forward to praying the whole 30 minutes driving to Steamville for my classes that day, and reading my Bible and sharing the word on social media, just so that I can get it out to other people in every way that I can when I'm not posting my videos. And it just makes me so incredibly happy to do those things and to live this way. And being out there, it's a different setting, it's a different feeling, but you just feel you're away from everything. You're away from school, you're away from your family, your other friends outside of church, you're away from everything that could be a distraction, or that could maybe cause you certain emotions, or it's just an indescribable feeling, honestly, being away from everything and having the experience that we had. It wasn't a very big group. I think there was like 15 of us, so the intimacy was so incredible. It wasn't like a normal service where you go to the church and there's a bunch of people and someone preaches and you pray and everything, and that's great, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, every once in a while I like to have those moments where it's like you're having a service, but it's so small to where it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like a conversation. And for me, it makes me more comfortable to talk about things and to tell my testimony or ask questions and things like that. It makes me feel more comfortable, and I feel like it makes other people feel more comfortable in that kind of setting. And it's just, I love going to church, and I love worshiping, and I love having big sessions, and I love having small sessions. It's just, when we were away, I felt like that small group just felt so right. It felt so amazing. And then on the last night, Me and a couple of my friends stayed up really late just talking about the Bible and talking about our testimonies and our struggles. And I don't think there's anything more I don't want to say healing, more, I don't know, exciting. I don't know the word I'm trying to use, but it's so, I guess, comforting to hear people talk about their testimonies and you getting to talk about your testimony, knowing that people are listening to you, listening to what you're saying and relating to that. And that's kind of why I like to post videos about raw moments in my life like this, like things that went on with my family and things that are going on in real life that are affecting me. And although some of those things have been very hard struggles and are really upsetting to me, regardless of how those things that I've gone through make me feel, I always look at the conclusion, and God has already won. We already have the victory. And just thinking about that after, you know, feeling upset or feeling defeated, it just brings me so much positivity and so much hope. And I know that I went through all of those things that I did for a reason, and I got to go this weekend to the retreat for a reason, a very great reason. And I don't think I've ever felt this confident in my relationship with God, because I went there and I had my friends and I had my boyfriend and I had all the problems that were happening in my life, and I did not once get distracted by any of that. I was focused on my relationship with God the entire time. I couldn't have asked for a better weekend or for a better church group. I was so grateful that I got to go and realize all of these things, that even when you're going through so many things in life, it can get overwhelming when you let it all out or when you think about it all. But just look to God regardless if life is going great or if life is going, you know, not so great. Because if you do that, He will bring you clarity and He will bring you reassurance that everything's going to be fine regardless of what's going on in your life, because you're looking towards Him and you have faith in Him. So as long as you do that, I mean, for me, it works. And some days are harder than others to look to God and feel that reassurance, but even when my life is going great, I still give thanks to God every single day. Indescribable how amazing I feel just knowing that God has me in His hands and that I have the victory because of Him, regardless of what's going on in my life, good or not. And it just makes me so happy. It gives me so much joy just knowing that. And I don't know if you guys relate to that, but I definitely, that's how I feel. And I'm not unemployed, by the way. I know that I quit my job, but I started working for a business, marketing for them online. I'm gonna do a separate video about that just because I want to explain what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Obviously I need money, but I can do it from home, and I think that's the most important thing for me. I'm applying to Sydney School today to become a substitute teacher, hopefully. But another thing, I haven't gone to school since last Tuesday or Thursday, I don't remember. But this week I didn't go to school just because obviously I was exhausted from the trip and not having any sleep, but I also just I don't like going to school. There is a class that I need to be in class for because he doesn't do Zoom or whatever, but honestly, just I hate going to school. College or not, I hate going to school. I'm still getting my work done. It's all done. Like, I'm caught up for a week from now, but it's just really hard for me to get the motivation to go 3 times a week. So I don't know, I may start going next week and then do the week in my life as a Christian college student video, but there's no telling when I'll go back. So if I do go back next week, that's when I'll film that week in my life video and post that. And then I have videos where I'm talking about specific topics, like I said. But this video, I just wanted to hit you guys up and talk about some struggles that I'm going through and talking about how I've dealt with it, and that's God, and how this weekend has helped me with so much realization and so much restoration of my soul and my happiness. And it was really amazing. It was so fun, and it was just amazing. I wish we could have stayed longer, honestly. I think that's all. Hopefully I'll have another video next week. I just wanted to talk to you guys about what I've been going through, where I've been at. But yeah, I am feeling so much better, and I just know that regardless of how bad things can get, that there's always hope and there's always that bright side because God is there. I'm putting God before everything, and that's what matters the most. And I don't know, maybe someone else is going through that. Maybe somebody else is going through changing their reactions and their ways of dealing with things. And honestly, I think that's the hardest part for me, is changing my heart and changing the way that I deal with things. And I'm proud of myself for having the ability to hold myself back in situations that are so extremely hard to, you know, and it does come with more heartache, I guess you could say, just because you're holding it in so much and you feel so broken from it sometimes, depending on who the person is or what's going on. But for me, it definitely does. So it's been an emotional struggle, but I know who my Savior is regardless, and there's nothing more exciting and more joyful than that. And I just don't even have the words to explain it, and that's why I'm like at loss of words in this video for some reason. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are looking forward to my upcoming videos, and I just pray that all of you have a good week, and I'll see you guys in the next one.